In 1964, the Civil Rights Act was passed, and people of all races and ethnicities and employers began a new journey of equal employment opportunity. When Executive Order 11246 enforced affirmative action for the first time, employers were still figuring out the landscape, and they needed guidance from federal regulatory agencies and the courts. And such direction came, and came, and came. Concepts such as test fairness, validation, adverse impact, affirmative action, and outreach began to solidify and receive consistent support in the courts. But these concepts are not static and are continually redefined by the changes that come into our field. And the mechanics and statistics of our field change and refine over the years. New presidential administrations change enforcement policies and strategies, placing new emphasis on their particular areas of concern in the EEO and affirmative action fields. The U.S. Supreme Court and the lower appellate courts sometimes hand down new cases that require employers to take hard looks at their hiring, onboarding, and outreach programs. Federal regulatory agencies instate new guidelines and practices that sometimes require employers to evaluate and change their personnel practices, including sometimes even retooling their HR programs and reporting processes. Keeping track of these changes is not easy. In fact, legal databases are full of stories from employers who get in trouble in these areas, including many well-intentioned organizations. This is where we come in. Since our inception in 1972, we have tried to keep a pulse on these rapidly changing issues. Our core of expertise focuses exclusively in the key issues pertaining to EEO and affirmative action, and we work hard to stay on top. Our network of consultants, experts, and professional staff stay regularly involved in EEO and affirmative action cases, audits, and related projects. Our team of consultants frequently speak in the field and write balanced articles on issues that can sometimes polarize practitioners in our field. Let's face it, Americans don't always see eye to eye on EEO and affirmative action topics, ideas, and even the laws. We also find that sometimes the more complex issues in our field are frequently misunderstood, leading to situations where employers can generate ill will with their employees and sometimes produce liability. BCG tries to stay in the middle between the two extremes that typically exist on EEO issues, understanding that a balanced approach brings about the best solution. Our experience as consulting and testifying experts on both plaintiff and defense cases has helped our firm maintain a position of respect and credibility from both sides. Decades of experience, 200 plus court cases, one of the largest EEO consulting firms in the nation, working with several of the top 100 federal contractors, leading EEO books, adverse impact and test validation book, compensation analysis book, EEO Insight, leading EEO compliance journal, national speaking and training, affirmative action software and services, AAP Consulting and Fulfillment, Audit and Compliance Assistance, Auto AAP Enterprise Software, Diversity Training and Reporting, BCGI, Biddle Consulting Group's Institute for Workforce Development, Online Learning Community, Webinars, EEO Resources and Tools, Pre-Employment Testing Software, Strong Foundation. BCG is not just a firm that decided testing would make for a good business opportunity. BCG has been an HR consulting firm specializing in test construction and test validation since 1972. These products flow naturally from our roots and benefit from our experience in over 200 cases involving defensible testing practices. Critical Dispatcher Testing Software. C4, Critical for Contact Centers. OPAC, Office Skills Testing Software. Encounter, Video Situational Judgment Testing. Situational Assessments by Prophecy. Online Assessment Library. AutoGoja, Automated Job Analysis Program. TVAP, Test Validation and Analysis Program. EEO Litigation Consulting and Expert Witness Services. Both plaintiff and defense. 200 plus court cases. Adverse impact, validation and statistical analysis. Test development and validation. High stakes tests. Test reviews. Compensation analysis. Compensation studies. Compare software. Compensation analysis book. Biddle Consulting Group. Opportunity for all. Click on a topic to explore more of what we have to offer your organization or visit biddle.com.